Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this lecture, we have to discuss complex number. What is complex number? We know that complex number is the generalized form of a real number. Every real number contained in the set of complex number. Now, why we need complex number? We recall that the square of real number is non-negative. Mean if a number x belongs to the set of real number, then the square of this number must be non-negative, means greater or equal to 0. So the solution of the equation x square plus 1 is equal to 0 or x square is equal to minus 1 does not exist in R, because the square of every real number must be non-negative. So it means that in real number the solution of this equation does not exist. Now to overcome this inequality of real numbers, this insufficiency of real numbers, we need a number whose square is minus 1. Thus the mathematicians were tempted to introduce a large set of real numbers called the set of complex number, which contain real number in every number whose square is negative. They invented a number square root minus 1 called the imaginary unit and denoted it by the letter iota, means iota denoted by square root minus 1. This is called imaginary unit, having the property that iota square must be equal to minus 1. Obviously, iota is not a real number. Clearly that iota is not real number, because square of iota is equal to minus 1. This is not the property of real number. It is a new mathematical entity that enables us to enlarge the number system to contain solution of every algebraic equation of the form this where a greater than 0. Now to solve the equation x square is equal to minus 1, taking square root on both sides. Now this is equal to iota, means x is equal to plus minus iota. So the solution set is iota minus iota. This means that this equation can be solved, and the solution set is this in set of complex number. But the solution of this equation does not exist in the sense of real number. The Swiss mathematician Euler was first to use symbol iota per square root minus 1. Number like this are called purely imaginary number. Integral power of iota. Iota square is equal to minus 1. Iota cube can be written as iota square multiplied by iota, but iota square is equal to minus 1. Therefore, iota cube is equal to minus iota. Iota power 4 can be written as iota square whole power 2 is equal to minus 1 whole power 2. This is equal to what? 1. Iota power 5 can be written as iota power 4 dot iota, but iota power 4 is equal to 1. So this is equal to 1 dot iota means iota, and so on. A pure imaginary number is the square root of a negative number. Means if we take a square root of minus 5, this is pure imaginary number. Square root of minus 3 is purely imaginary number. Minus 2, square root of minus 2 is purely imaginary number because this is equal to square root 2 iota. This is equal to square root 3 iota. Definition of complex numbers. A number of the form z is equal to a plus b iota, where a and b are real number, is called complex number and represented by the number z. Therefore, every complex number can be written as in this form. Set of complex number. The set of all complex number is denoted by C, and C is equal to Z such that Z is equal to A plus B iota, where A and B belong to R, where A is called real part and B is called imaginary part. But imaginary part does not mean that this is imaginary number. Imaginary part is also real number. A is equal to real part of Z and B is equal to imaginary part of the number Z. Observe that every A belonging to R may be identified with complex numbers of the form. That means every real number can be written as A plus 0 iota by taking B is equal to 0. If we take imaginary part B is equal to 0, then we get a real number. Therefore, every real number is also a complex number. So, the set of real number contained in the set of complex number. Note that every complex number is not a real number. Now, if we take A is equal to 0, if we take A is equal to 0, then A plus B iota reduced to purely imaginary number. Means if Z is equal to A plus B iota and we take A is equal to 0, then Z is equal to B iota. This is called purely imaginary number. Now, if A is equal to B and both are equal to 0, then Z is equal to 0 plus 0 iota, and this is called zero complex number. Mean if real part and complex part both become 0, then the number is called zero complex number. The set of complex number is shown in the following diagram. Complex number divided into two parts: real numbers and purely imaginary numbers. Then real number divided in to two numbers, rational number and irrational number. Rational number contains integer, integer divided into two numbers, whole numbers and negative integers. An whole number is the combination of two numbers, two concepts, natural numbers and including zero. Conjugate of complex numbers. If we change iota to minus iota, then the number z a plus b iota, we obtain another number a minus b iota called complex conjugate. Means if we change the sign of iota or the sign of imaginary part, we get the conjugate of the mentioned number. The number a plus b iota and a minus b iota are called conjugate of each other. There are some properties of conjugate. If we take two-time conjugate of a complex number, we get again z. If z is a real number, then its conjugate does not affect. This is the lecture about concept of complex numbers. Thank you so much.